Oh. So this just arrived in the post today. It's the Snapmaker U1, and it has a hole in the side, so I hope that's not broken. Wait a second. Amazing. Oh, other side. So this is number one, and apparently this has to be done differently. 4 tool heads, and then, oh, I think that's right. Seems good. And done. Piece of cake. So I'm looking for the power cable, and this is the only box that's left, but for the power cable, this is a big ass box. Ah, we got filament as well. This is smaller than normal. This is it's like 500 grams. This is definitely less, right? That is vacuum packed too crazy. Region selection. Chinese mainland or global. Filament loaded, everything finished, and it wants me to print this dragon. Now normally I wouldn't, but I feel like because this printer's kind of special in a way, AI monitoring is enabled. Turning off the LED may reduce detection accuracy. Ah. So I was going to turn off these lights, but it has AI monitoring through, I assume, then this camera, which just basically catches any issues like messing with your filament, any spaghettiing. I guess if the print comes off the bed, it maybe would detect it too. And then the printer will stop so that you're not just like printing over the top and making a huge disaster. That's clever. We'll leave that on. So 2 and about a half hours later, this would have taken a hell of a lot longer on any other system, which we shall not name. But the main thing is this. That's the waste. That is insane. What do you mean? So logically to me, the next thing to do is to compare this printer's slicing information to some other models that I want to print, and I will test from a different one with a color changer, right? If I wanted to print this on my old printer, I'd be looking at roughly 21 and a half hours. That's a long time, right? And if I wanted to print this on the Snapmaker, we're looking at 6 hours and 8 minutes for the exact same size, exact same color scheme. Everything is exactly the same. Total purged filament is 279 grams. And on here, we don't even have a purge for it at all. There's zero, no purge at all. So this next model for my daughter is 10 hours on the Snapmaker U1, or just under 10 hours with 0 purge. And on the old printer, it would have been 33 hours instead of 10, and it's 367 grams of wasted material. That is insane. That is a massive difference. Holy. So well and good seeing the numbers. I wanted to do a test, so for the last few days, I printed this on my color changer. This took 11 hours, and all of this purged waste. All of it. Then I printed the exact same model on the U1, slightly bigger. This is all of the waste from the U1 since I got the printer. Because I also printed this, both of these, and also this. All of these prints, this much purge. This single print, this much purge from a color changer compared to the U1. Being able to spend the same amount of hours to get something much bigger, much better quality, because this has bleeding and other issues with like color specs and stuff all over it as well, but also have barely any waste whatsoever except for the prime towers, which you would have to have on them anyway. It opens up so many different options that you just would never consider doing. I have printed some multicolor figures in the past, but barely any, whereas now I've printed more colored objects since having this printer than I ever did with a color changer because of this. This was always such a big problem that it put me off ever actually printing anything in color, because I mean, it's just not worth it. Like, you end up with this, but you waste this much filament, it just feels bad to do. Whereas now, I have no issue. If I want something in color, it's going on that printer and it's gonna be printed out. So waste, cost, and time, the U1 is unbelievable. But how does it stack up as an actual printer? Is it reliable? Is there any issues with it? Well, let's see. So the U1 has a 270mm build plate with 4 tool heads, which is what enables it to print in color with such little purge. All the filament loads on auto loaders, so you'll just take the filament, push it into the end, and it'll feed it through, and that's it. You just need to set the settings of what color it is in the actual display. Very quick to do. But then once it's loaded, it does a little purge from each of them into the actual waste tray, and that's it. There'll be no more purge to come out of that, but obviously there's still the prime tower when you are printing something. The tool heads are collected and dropped off in a tool change in around about 4 to 5 seconds, which is very fast, and why you can actually print things in such high speed as well. The difference between loading filament, purging filament, reheating the nozzle is way slower than just swapping to a different tool head. One of the issues I did run into was the spool holders on the side. You can load filament rolls like this very easily because it has the smaller hole, but you can't actually load things with a slightly bigger spool holder need because it will just fall straight off. But that's easily fixed with this 3D print that I found. You just pop it through the actual filament roll, slot that over the holder, and it's nice and secure. You can use any filament you want then. You'll find a link to this in the description because the maker was nice enough to make it free. I got the printer about a week ago and I've been running it non-stop since then, just making loads of different things, doing long prints, 10-hour prints, 12-hour prints, 14-hour prints, non-stop. And I've had zero issues with it whatsoever. Now, whether that's because it's brand new and it's running like a well-oiled machine, or maybe it's because I built it so perfectly. Okay, and then, oh! Whether I run into issues in the future, I don't know. It's working great now. I've had no issues with it. Press print, leave it, go to bed, get up in the morning, print done. Absolutely awesome. However, an issue that I did run into sometimes is the software. The Snapmaker Orca does crash sometimes on Windows. It hasn't done it once on Mac, which is great, but on Windows, it was crashing every now and again when you were loading up a model. Maybe it was because it was a high detail model, I don't know. It was crashing. There's reports of this online as well, but Snapmaker has made an announcement to say that they're working on their software and everything, their hardware, the software, everything, the whole ecosystem, and the software is a big point as well. So it should be getting a lot of improvements, but they should also be addressing the crashing too. So, I mean, that's good. Now, I have no doubts in saying that this will become my most used printer. Being able to print in color whenever you want makes a world of difference, and it takes away that friction of, oh man, this print would be really good if I could use color in it, but I don't want to purge all of that filament just to get some letters and something. You can label functional prints. You can color code functional prints. You can make all sorts of different things and include color whenever you want. Hell, there's even a setting that I'm using right now that allows you to color mix filaments. And this is all in the slicer. You just tell it which color you want. It determines from the colors that you've got on how close it can get to that color, and then it just does it. You just apply it to the actual model wherever you want, and it will do it. As you can see, I've got a light blue coming out here, and then a darker blue for the actual band. Of course, this does have its limitations, like you have to print in a small layer size, but you can load 4 colors up and access loads of different colors. It's absolutely crazy. So one more thing before moving on, there's something I want to test. Remember at the beginning of the video when I ran into the AI protection thing that basically detects if there's spaghetti or if there's anything wrong with the print bed? I want to know how good that is, because to me, that is a great feature. It means I can put prints on before I go to bed and not worry that the printer's about to burst into flames. So I've just put a new print on, which is just a repeat of the last one that I did, but it still started to print all the same. And I have some of this, which is basically like spaghetti, right? Like it should detect this as spaghetti. So I'm just gonna just throw it in there and see what happens and see how quickly it detects the spaghetti. Right, now this is well and truly spaghettified. Is it going to stop? AI monitoring is enabled. It doesn't seem to be working, so I'm gonna make it worse, and we're gonna test it. And I mean, let's see. What? Literally, as soon as I was about to do that, look at this. It worked. It worked. I was just about to throw this on, and it's worked. So now you could technically just remove this, and then you could just hit continue. It's actually way better than I initially thought. Not only does it keep the printer safe, if you're 12 hours into a print and then there's some spaghetti and it stops like that, you can remove the spaghetti, resume the print, and everything should technically be okay. So it's a safety feature and a print saving feature. I'm impressed with that. Even though it took a couple of minutes, it really wasn't that bad. But if you're looking to get a printer that allows you to print in color whenever you want, no restrictions, no worrying about purge, then this is the one that I would recommend. So with that being said, do check out the links in the description, and thank you Snapmaker for sponsoring the video, sending me the printer out so I can test it out, and I've got some good ideas coming up for this thing. This is going to be running all the time.